There's a lot of conflicting statements we're getting out of TCA, like almost back-to-back days. We're getting conflicting statements about will Supergirl be allowed to cross over with the Flash and Arrow, which is, this question. Look, I think it was one of the first videos we did about this show, conversations we did, because, again, CBS, CBS co-owns the CW.
Right.
And Greg Berlanti is executive producing all 3 shows.
Yeah.
So it just felt like, okay, there's a chance here, the chance that there wasn't with Constantine. There's a lot more reasons to think it's probably going to happen. Berlanti's been very vocal about wanting it to happen. There's been indications that that they've talked about it.
Yeah, and then during the executive session for CW,
which was first,
Pedowitz basically said, who's the president of the network, said, like if Berlanti can make it happen, sure, I would love that to happen.
He kind of deferred to Berlanti.
Right, he deferred to Berlanti, and then you followed up with Berlanti.
Yeah.
And Berlanti essentially said...
Berlanti's answer was, look, it was a kind of pointed look. As a fan, I sure would want to see that. It was like, look,
wouldn't
he knows.
That be great?
He knows. Like, wouldn't that be great?
And
so that seemed all optimistic. And then
so it was like, good, all full steam ahead. Everybody's on board. And then I followed up with Nina Tassler of CBS, and she said exactly this. Well, those 2 shows, Arrow and the Flash, are on another network. Like, I know that, Nina. And so I think we'll keep Supergirl to ourselves for a while.
Yeah.
And so CBS's answer was basically like, have you seen our ratings compared to theirs? Like, no, we're keeping our show. Because the benefit ultimately, but it's odd because in terms of the corporate structure, it's like, but it's not like it's a totally competing network. You co-own it, right? So like, you'll still benefit, but the benefit is so heavily weighted for the CW, seemingly, that I think CBS is like, for now, no.
The benefit is CW benefits more, and Warner Brothers owns all 3 shows, not CBS. So that in the long term, in the box set Netflix terms, it's like this doesn't benefit CBS. All that being said, I mean, the one little phrasing I did note when she talked to you was the like for now of it all.
Yeah.
Here's what I think is that it will happen at a certain point, and I think they'll start small. I think they will do the like little references, like the newspaper headline, just to be like, yes, it's the same world.
I think they'll do that for now, and then there'll be conversations about how and if they can work that out. And it'll be interesting to see how it all unfolds, because more and more, like I said, to me, CBS is the one that's still existing in the old model the most. Because they can. And why wouldn't they? They're winning everything.
Right.
But as things change and evolve and it becomes more about like a la carte programming and things like that, people will have to make adjustments in how they do their business.
And I know we talked about this, months ago, but just to reiterate, it's like it wouldn't be unprecedented. It eventually happened in a light way, but a notable way with Angel and Buffy after things cooled off between CW and UPN. And even, this is a funny show to bring up with IGN, but it's just going in TV history. Ally McBeal in The Practice. The characters crossed over across 2 networks. David E. Kelley, shared universe, and the networks allowed it to happen. So just the fact that, because the benefit for CBS is the fact that this is a very off-brand show for CBS. And that's, even with our readers, it's like, what's this doing on CBS,
Well, that was a question she was asked quite a bit. Why does this belong on CBS?
And what she kind of said, like...
She said that she felt like it was definitely in CBS's wheelhouse in the sense that it was a very strong female character, and that, it was a coming-of-age story and things like that, and that they connected into the pitch for those reasons. So.
But I just feel like, the benefit for CBS is almost the goodwill it brings from like a comic fandom that is suspicious of CBS, is like, I don't like to watch CBS and you make shows I don't care about. And then it's like, hey, no, look, we're going to let them do a cool crossover, a big mega event, May Sweeps, crossover. I think, yeah, don't look for the kind of, because while they did say, we should mention at TCA how they're now aiming for once a year, the Flash and Arrow to have like a big mega crossover like they did.
Right,
They also very much allowed for the fact that like here and there single characters could come back and forth all the time.
Yeah, so it was like in the vein of like the Doctor Who special that you know is going to happen once a year. Like you know that this big thing will happen where everybody goes somewhere.
Yeah.
But yeah, like here and there, Felicity seems like such an easy one to run around
and even the way the Clock King just popped up on the Flash, I think they're going to start doing that with the villains, kind of going back and forth. I would say don't expect that with Supergirl.
Yeah.
But I think that they'll work it out at some point ultimately, because there are benefits for both of them that just benefits way towards the CW.
Yeah.